hot water in case you wanted to isolate the gas, but you don't need to, you can just do it at the bottles. Storage under there, and then when you're bringing it back down, just keep your hand underneath the frame and lower it down slowly, otherwise it ends up crashing and banging. Windows, just push the red button, and red button, and then that will push and it just locks off where you want it to, and then locks up. Microwave when you're on 240, and then you got your drawers, so you got a cutlery drawer at the top here. In your cutlery drawer we've got your green self-containment letter, warranty process, so that just shows you what to do for warranty. So just go to the Snowy River website, the warranty, and then you select yes about if you registered your caravan, because we'll do that for you, and then you just fill out the forms and provide some photos and a quote if you're not coming back to us, and then they'll give you a number and you can supply that to your repairer. You just got a list here of stuff to remember to do before you travel. Then next drawer down's all your manuals, your TV remote, aircon remote, all that sort of stuff. This here is your pin for your Cruisemaster DO35, so that there goes on your tow ball, your tow tongue, not your tow ball, your tow tongue, and then you can, so that's in this drawer here. You got a camera for your screen, for your camera, that's at the rear of the caravan. And then you've got tire pressure monitors in there and spare TV stuff. And then you've got another fan there, works the same as the other two. So your water pump's on, so you just turn the tap on and away it goes. Same with the water filter. And then down there you got your rubbish bin and cupboard space. You got a 3 gas and 1 electric hob. So you just click that button, turn the knob first, and then click that button and then it will turn on. So turn your knob to on and then click that while you're turning it and they'll start up. And then you've got a electric hob there, which is that one, and then you've got a grill here, so that's your grill, same process as the hob, that opens up and that's your grill. And then you have to have the lids, both lids up, in order to get any of the gas on the hob, on the oven to work, just because of the safety switches there and there. So those have to be pressed down for the gas and the 240 to be allowed through. Got your range hood here, turn that on. 3 settings, on and off, and a light. So radio up there, and then you've got cupboards down here. In the cupboard down there you've got an isolator for the gas hob. When traveling we suggest having the bifold table out, the trifold table, out, and then you've got a USB down there and 2 plugs and some cupboards. Just make sure those are clipped in before you travel. Up in here you've got your BMS, which is your battery management system. That's your 240 breaker, so just make sure that's on before you use 240, and if it trips then switch it back on there, and if it keeps tripping then there's a problem. There's your gas caliphant, so you just go up and down on the temperature to whatever you want. Looks like 51's the hottest it can go. and then you just turn your tap on to hot, and then you'll see a shower, a fan, and then a flame will come up usually, but I've just turned the gas off so that won't happen. This fridge switch does nothing. There is a power point, a single power point underneath the fridge. If you did want to use that power point, that would need to be on, but that was from back when they used to use three-way fridges in these caravans. And then the hot water switch does nothing because we have gas hot water now, not the old cylinder. That there is your battery charger power. So when you plug into mains, that becomes live, sends power into the battery charger, which is in that unit there, and it charges the batteries off the mains power. At the moment we're just charging off PV, which is your solar, so because we're unplugged. And that there's your gas, sorry, not gas, tire pressure monitors, so you can connect your tire pressure monitors to your phone and check your tire pressures if you want to. You got all your 12-volt fuses there. Underneath each fuse there's a little light that will switch on if the fuse is blowing, and then you know which one to change out if need be. Below the BMS you've got your fridge. So this is the only thing that won't turn off when you turn your load button off at the doorway. To turn it on, you just hold your finger over it, it'll flash, and then it will be on. It'll turn blue. To change the temperature, so the first one's your fridge, hold your finger over it, it'll flash, then you just tap it to change the temperature. Same with the freezer, hold your finger over it once it resets. Hold your finger over it, it will flash, and then just tap it to whatever you want. 3 is the coldest, 1 the warmest, and then there's a night mode here as well. There, so you can hold your finger over that, it will flash, and then touch that and it turns your night mode on. So that's just for overnight when you don't want your compressor turning on all the time. And then to turn it off, just hold your finger over it. It will last 8 hours once it's on, or you can manually turn it off by turning that off. Below your fridge you've got your water pump, so it's 12-volt water pump. These 2 green valves here are the ones you need to turn off before you turn your mains water on. If you do hook into mains water. And then here you gotta, so we've locked the pin down into the floor for travel, and then the bungee up the top there for travel. And then you got your toilets. So your toilets run off your water tanks, the flush does. So you just push the middle grey button and that flushes it. When you use the toilet, just open up the grey flap first, use the toilet, flush it, then just push that back in once you're finished. There's a few lights on here, so that one's about 75% full, that one's full, that one's, if you can see, it's not clipped in properly. You got cubby there, and you got your washing machine up there, so that's 240-volt washing machine, so you can only use it on 240-volt. You got light switches up here for in here and in your shower. So there's a light in your shower there. So that switch there turns that on and off. In your shower you've got your 2-way fan, so that, and then you can open it up using the dial. We'll take the shower head down and I'll wrap it in something before we travel. And lock the shower closed. Cupboard space up there. You got your aircon up there. And that's your dust suppression unit there. I'll take your TV down and store it in front of the bed there. So I'll just stow the so that's now putting the satellite back down. So that's the stow button up the top there. And then once the satellite's down and in place, it will turn itself off. All the lights will turn off on this unit, and then we can then take the TV down just by pushing that lever in there and sliding it out. And I'll put that in the front of the bed there. This here's your front door key. So I'll turn your load button off. That's your 12 volt all turned off. You've got the pin in down there. So that's in the floor, nice and locked away, ready for travel. That's locked up with the bungee. That's locked up there. All your windows are all latched and closed. Trifold tables down, ready for travel. All curtains need to be opened while traveling. And all the cupboards are closed. And then we go outside. To split the door, you just lever up to the sky, and that gives you a fly screen. And then you've got all your electrical and self-containments all in there. And then to lock the door, you just like that, and that goes in. You don't need to push or pull on this, just does it with the key. So like that, back to quarter and out. And then that's nice and locked now. And then I'll be putting the keys in here. I'll hang them up on the entertainment thing there. So that's your keys in there. And then that closes up. And I'll put your step up too. And now that's all ready for travel.